Supraland 6 Inches Under is being released to Steam and is set to land on the same price as the predecessor Supraland on $19.99. Originally planned to be a side project to introduce new team members to the tool and workflow, it quickly outgrew the proportions of a DLC and is now more considered Supraland 1.5 with a mix of old and new, all gathered under the new name 6 Inches Under. Developer Supra Games are hoping that the 27 months of production time and going from one solo developer to a 6-person team will ensure that the fans of the first game will find the same amount of joy once again. Supraland from 2019 still holds an overwhelmingly positive review score, so it's all about big expectations. And let me tell you, as a first-time player of a First-Person Metroidvania, I had so much fun. Not because it's a Metroidvania, that label is one a lot of games nowadays use, but because of the humor and the first-person exploration and puzzles. Since there is no skill tree in this game, you might think that you start with a full-packed plumbing hero, but that is not the case. Crouching and jumping high might be default behavior in other games, but here it's earned and bought through collecting enough coins for an upgrade. I first thought that it would make me stressed out on what to prioritize first, but the game is clever and planned so you are not left missing one simple coin in your pursuit of these upgrades. I find this as a great introduction to how you best move around. There is clearly coins positioned in the places you can't reach until you have acquired the right skill. That's right, amazing Metroidvania mechanics right there. But the game really shines when it gives me flashback of trick jumping in Quake 3 as I move around between places in what's such a smooth and exciting path of exploration. The jumping and landing is forgiving and don't demand pixel perfect execution. I find that refreshing, and I can assure you it does not take out the fun of your exploration. And the exploration is constantly being rewarded with secret chests with what feels for me usable reward, except for this kind. I think someone is trying to be a mimic from Dark Souls, so there's only one way to deal with them. The game is said to have 5% combat, and that part is in many places optional. You can just skip and avoid them with a couple of well-placed jumps, and if you manage to die to what seems to be an impossible enemy, help is always around the corner. So if you might have landed on this video since you're wondering if this game will bring you hours of exciting combat in anticipation of Silksong, I can tell you that this is not the case. I feel that enemies most of the time, for good and bad, are more of a place filler, so you don't just have big empty caves to jump through. I absolutely love games with puzzles. Maybe it's from growing up playing point-and-click adventure games, and I'm happy when Supraland doesn't fall short there. The main path of the game offers a lower difficulty when it comes to the said puzzles. Now, before you get all worked up about making simplified path throughout the game, there are plenty of harder ones that are optional. The game even warns you when you are on the path to a side quest, and how many games have the courtesy to do that? And I feel that even the simplest puzzles sometimes can become a good challenge when your logical thinking is on a break, or in my case needs another cup of coffee to kickstart the system. A thing that really makes me enjoy the game is that not all puzzles are about moving boxes. The way to traverse with a beam that only attaches to wood, creating light bridges, is only outshined by my favorite, pulling enemies into lava instead of taking them on head first. Does that make me the evil one in this game? If so, I'm pleased with that. I see the developers have focused more on additional content that are presented after you have completed the game, a way to offer more to its player that can beat the game fast. The developer almost apologetically states that since the playtime of 6 Inches Under is less than the game released in 2019, it's 8 to 20 hours versus 12 to 24, the player can expect more content after completing the game. And if you love speedrunning like I do, I saw that the previous game had a world record of 7.15 minutes for any percentage run, and that is an amazing feature if you take into account that the previous game stated 12 to 24 hours. So it explains why this game feels so adapted for speedrunning community with game speed settings and on-screen overlays, and I'm eager to see the future speedruns for this game. And I feel they need not to worry when it comes to the rest of us, unless you are a puzzle mastermind, and I am not in any way that. There will be plenty of game time where you're just like me wandering around trying to figure out what to do next, since we have missed the most obvious solution. So when we combine the fun but challenging puzzles together with sometimes juvenile looking but fun world to explore, we get a game that, with its variation of skills and challenges matching my expectation, and perhaps even a bit beyond my initial quick judgment just seeing the visual styles. But eventually it comes down to what you think the game is worth after watching this video. I can only add that I, after playing Supraland 6 Inches Under, understand why the first game has so many good reviews. You know what? Let's not end this journey here. You have seen the game. I have a fantastic game here that I think that you should check out. I'm Danny from the Indie Game Viking, and I always say stay safe and stay awesome.